So, I've never done a voiceover before, and I thought I would use this break to start doing something new. So, this year it had been such a ride. I'm not sure if I've mentioned anything personal about me in this channel, but yeah, so I'm a 26-year-old human. Obviously, I'm a human who was doing her postgrad and also got married. Yeah. So, anyways, it has been a weird journey, 2024, and compared to last year, I drew so little this year, but also I did more of. I challenged myself, I think, with what little time I had. So I made a lot of cinematic posts and everything, but yeah, because of how hectic life got, I couldn't draw for the past few months, and I kind of forgot what it was like to draw. So after my break ended, I wanted to start it with something simple. So I wanted to do a redraw, so that it can help me with the ropes, like the brushes. I can familiarize myself with the brushes and whatnot. So as you know, my most favorite Genshin character is Kaeya. So it was love at first sight from the beginning, and he has been in my main team, and he is actually my only triple crown character. So yeah, of course I'll be coming out of the hiatus with a Kaeya fan art. So I drew the sketch, I copied everything from the original, and now I'm filling in the base colors using the lasso tool. I find it really easier to use the lasso tool, and I swear I'm completely jealous of all you Clip Studio Paint users who have that free pen that lets you select the area with a single click. I wish Procreate had that. I can't believe I paid money only for me to manually lasso everything. So if you have been following my little channel ever since the start, you'd know that I don't have a specific art style. I just wing it every time. I use a bunch of references. I just incorporate things I like, and I go with the flow. So yeah, I kind of forgot how I draw lips on my characters, and I'm just experimenting here. A bit of dark brown, a bit of red to see if it gives him, those juicy lips like Colleen says. Newsflash, I don't watch her. I don't watch anyone. So I'm just marking the shadows and base colors. And yeah, so we are down to his chest area, Kaeya's window. I'm just copying everything from the reference and giving it more of a shading so that it looks more painterly than oh my god, English is not my first language. So yeah, so that it doesn't look like cell shading, I'm doing some painting. I'm just using a single brush for everything. I mean, it's pretty obvious, but I don't have a script right now, and I'm just spontaneously talking, just testing out the inbuilt recorder in my video editor and seeing if it works, if it fits. Normally I'd be using a harder brush for when I paint my hair, but like I said, I've actually forgotten how to paint, to do digital art. So I just thought that I had marked the main areas, the shadows, using a soft brush, and then I'll go back and fill it up with an opaque brush. And while doing it, I just remembered that I forgot to draw his other side of the hair. So we went back, through that, filled it with colors, and now I'm taking an opaque brush and filling in the shadows. Once again, just copying everything from the reference, because as I said, this is a redraw, so we'll be just familiarizing ourselves with the brushes, with the colors, everything, just so I can get a hang of it. So I'm just using those inking brushes that are available for free in Procreate, and using it for painting the hair. So I tried to stick with just 3 colors in total: the base, the shadow, and a bit of highlight. So it's more of, I'm just eyeballing the color from the reference and seeing if it works, and if it's not working, I'm just going back and using the color adjustment tool to see if anything else works. But in this specific picture, it did not, so I went back to the original. Now I'm just drawing his eyes. With eyes, I think it's always best to use a dark a shade of gray, or something with a bit of red, rather than using pure white, because that makes him look that makes the character look like a ghost. So for his cape, that fluffy feathery thing, I'm just literally copying everything from the reference. I'm using 2 to 3 colors, a bit of blue, a bit of violet, and also lots of gray. And now we are going back to the sky. So if you have been following my channel, you know that I started drawing clouds pretty recently. I especially did Amber and Cola fan art where the sky was the main focus, and ever since then I've been in love with drawing skies. So here it's been a long time since I did the Amber Cola drawing, and I've also pretty much forgotten how to draw a sky. So I'm just winging everything, picking lots of eyedropping lots of colors from the background and seeing if it works. I'm using a big brush with pressure sensitivity, so that it creates the variance that is needed, and I can go back and color pick the other colors from the variance. So now I have switched back to his coat, drawing in painting the details. I'm switching back and forth between the background and Kaeya, and also the foreground, which is the shoulders of the soldiers who are standing there, just so I'm not stuck in a single thing and I'm not fixated to it in making it perfect. So with this drawing, since it's more of a warm-up, I tried to finish everything in an hour. So I'm not sticking to any one thing, putting too much effort and details into a single thing, but rather I'm trying to draw everything with as little details as possible, but enough detail to make it look coherent. So at this stage of time, I think I was around the 45 minutes mark or something like that. And now I find something really weird about his cape, so I'm lassoing it to see if it works. And yes, it works. It was a bit too small and soggy, if that makes sense. So I made it a bit fluffier, and I'm erasing the excess parts. I think it's always cooler to use as many layers as you want. Sure, some people use a single layer to draw everything, and some people use like hundreds of layers to draw their pupil in one layer, their irises in another layer. But yeah, usually I use around 10 layers, mostly a single layer for each component of character, like the hair, the skin, each part of their clothes, so that I don't get confused. And after that, I either clip another layer over it, or if it's a rather simple piece, I'd just alpha lock it and draw the details in it. I just like to be safe, and I also save copies of the picture, not the file, but just of the picture, JPEG or PNG copy, so that I have insurance even if when I merge those layers. And yep, so here I'm just going back, drawing in more details, a little bit of hair strands, a bit of jewelry. I like drawing fluffy hair. If there's anything that's constant with my drawings, it's those fluffy hair. And now I'm going back and lassoing his face again, because it really looks weird. I don't know what's weird, but it's weird. But I think for some after a huge break, and as someone who only does art as a hobby, this is pretty okay. So now we are changing the mood of the picture with lots of this correction layers. So I used a multiple layer on the foreground to create a shadowy look, and then I'm using an overlay layer, filling it with some reds to give him a pop. I think red on darker skin looks better, but that's a personal preference. And some might think that might look a bit artificial, but I like it. I also blurred some parts, use chromatic aberration and also a bit of noise so that it gives a papery texture. And yeah, that's about it. It took us 1 hour and 19 minutes, and this is what we ended up with. Thank you for everyone who stopped by, and I hope to see you on the next video. Bye.